Out in the world again. 2 weeks in a row. Bruce is parked right there. Bruce is the name for my car. And I'm not too far out of my neighborhood. I've never seen this little chapel being open, so that was kind of new. You might have noticed that something different is going on with my camera, that the image is slightly different, and that I for some reason keep looking at that side, but that's because there's a little screen right there. I need to stop doing that. I'm actually using a new camera. Usually I film these vlogs. This one, which is my Sony ZV-E1, which is a very good camera, really happy with it. There's a lot of castles in this neighborhood. Small little curious castles. I'd really like to go in there and film one day, but you know. Let me see if I can peek over. There's nobody living in that part. There's like a private house next to it. I'm not going to film that, that is rude. Ja? Ja, jongen? Ja, waar? Rest? Jo. This looks like someone just turned the lawn upside down. The biggest problem I have with this camera is that it does require some preparation. Every time I want to take a shot, I need to make sure that the lighting is correct and whatnot. It's also quite bulky, as you can tell, which draws a lot of attention when you're filming in a very public environment and people are kind of walking by. It always feels a little douchey to have this big camera at your face. That is all in my head. Nobody cares. But you know, I live in my head, so I have to deal with that. It also has pretty good image stabilization, but I still notice a lot of kind of movement when I'm kind of doing these walking shots like I'm doing right now. So, I'm leaving for a trip. Today is Saturday. I think it's May 17th. Wait, I have a watch. May 18th. In about 6 days, I'm leaving for Greece, for Crete. Again, my favorite place on the planet. Oh, look at that. That's cute. And before I tell you what I'm going to do there exactly, let me show you the camera that I'm filming on right now. The DJI Osmo Action 4. I think currently the best action camera you can get. It is a really compact, handy camera. It has that typical stabilization that you get with an action cam. There's very little setup. The quality is not the best, but you know, you can do some stuff in post. It's not the same as this camera, of course. But it is very handy for trips like this, where I'm walking in nature and I'm talking while I'm walking, to make sure that everything is stabilized, that you guys don't start puking in the midst of a video that you're watching. It also fits really well in my my backpack. It's way easier to take this along everywhere I go, which is not the case with this one, no matter how much I love this camera. Now that does not mean that this one is retiring, not at all. Actually, I think they're going to work really well in combination. So this is going to be my talking head walk and vlog camera, and I'm going to alternate with B-roll from this camera, and occasionally I'll sit in front of this one, and when I'm not walking around and I have time and a nice background, this one is coming out, definitely. But back to my travel plans. I'm going to Greece, as I said, and the idea is that I'm going to try and vlog my whole journey. I've always been very curious if I would be able to do that, if I would be able to do these vlogs. Oh, it's getting a little swampy. What is that bird? Can you guys hear that? Woo-hoo. I just saw 2 flying bugs that were doing it while flying in the air. What I want to try and create is to just, when I'm traveling, like I'm doing next week, to try and do at least a vlog every 2 days and try and hit that daily rhythm. And take you guys on a journey with me so you can follow along and see what I do when I'm in places like this. Like if I ever go to BlizzCon again, if I go to other cons, if I travel somewhere else, that on one end you'll get the content that you guys know, where I'm just kind of talking, sharing my ideas like I'm doing right now, but also the occasional journey where you basically can follow my day, aka vlogging. I think some of you might be interested in that. I mean, I do think I'm really going to enjoy making those videos, but it also needs to be feasible, because recording is one thing, editing is something different. That also takes a lot of time. And this little camera is going to help out, because it is going to take away some of the post-production kind of stabilization I need to do. It's going to be easier to kind of get interesting content in there. So the idea is that I use this for the run and gun moments. I'm also going to bring Mr. ZV-E1 for the more beautiful shots, and for those B-roll shots. And I'm going to bring my drone, because you know, you can't do any travel content without having a drone. That would be silly. I need to make sure that I always have something going out video-wise. If it's not the Omnic post at that point, it might be a video for Geek and Plunder. If it's not Geek and Plunder, it might be Deemzies. And on one end, that is a business decision, because yeah, every time I push out content, it creates an income. Not right now, but that is the idea eventually. But also because I like the variation of doing all these different things. I'm just not the type of creator that can do one single thing. I've accepted that for myself a long time ago. I need variation. That's why I'm also doing podcasts, interviews, why I'm still posting on social media. Because I need that. I need the variation. And it just looks like all this is a little swamped. It's been raining a lot lately, and look at that. It's all flooded. Alright, I need to make my way back. It's not like it's meters deep, it's just too much for my my Nikes. Alright, maybe that was my mistake to not wear proper shoes when going for a hike, but I didn't know I was going to end up right here. I just kind of jumped in my car and decided to film outdoors. Yeah, that was the whole story. Got a new camera, leaving to Greece next week, and I'm going to try and do daily vlogs for you guys. I love that island. I know a lot of good spots where I can be filming. It will also kind of motivate me to venture out on the island, because sometimes when I'm tired and I'm too much in my head, like thinking over a lot of stuff, which I'm currently doing, I tend to kind of stick to one spot and, I don't know, sit somewhere on a terrace with a coffee and a book and my iPad, taking notes, staring off in the distance and think, which is good. But I need variation. If I'm going to come back relaxed, energized and ready for the summer, then I need to do more, and I need to try this. I need to find a way to make the Deemzies channel grow just as much as the other two will be growing, hopefully somewhere in the future. So if you're not subscribed just yet, might be a good time to do so. There's a little spot of sunlight right there. The only spot of sunlight in the whole neighborhood. I'm so close yet so far. Guys, that was it. I'm going to try and get to my car without getting wet feet, which I think might be too late already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.